Yeah, this is like one of my major gripes with the game. So when you press Alt, you can see that this is a tier 6. Let's put it here. A tier 6 defense mod on this pair of boots, right? So on the old system, you would know, all right, it goes tier 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, there's 5 more tiers better. So this is probably like pretty mid tier, so not that great of a mod. Tier 5, oh, this is not that great of a mod. That's not what it means in PoE. This is what it means. Now, if you get Energy Shield on a pair of boots, there are 7 tiers. So, actually, this pair of boots is tier 2 Energy Shield, even though it's tier 6. So, tier 6, you might think, oh, it's not that great, but actually, that is tier 2. However, it's not just like, okay, I'll remember there are 7 tiers of Energy Shield. No, if that was a body piece, tier 6 would be less than or slightly more than midway because there's 11 tiers. That is why it's so confusing to like look at gear. So if you get this bow and you're like, oh, nice, tier 1 crit, that's really good. You look at a bow, or I suppose they don't have it on bows here, do they? They're just doing gear. But yeah, it's just confusing, like this pair of helmets. All right, tier 1 life on that helmet. Okay, let's have a look. Helmet, life. There's 10 tiers of life, so that is the worst tier of life. But it says tier 1, but you don't know how many tiers there are. So that could be tier 1 of 1,000 or tier 1 of 5. It's just not great, is it? You look at accuracy on a helmet. Okay. There's 8 tiers of accuracy. So that's got tier 1 accuracy, although it says tier 8. But you're unaware that tier 8 is top. Like, it is confusing. So, like, when I just look at one of my chess pieces, I have no idea if it's even good. You can't immediately identify if something's decent on this game. Well, let's look at this body armor. All right. Yeah, basically, the bigger tier is better, but you don't know what tier is good, right? So we look at that body, you go, okay, let's have a look. It has life regen, body armor, life regen. There are 11 tiers of body armor regen. This has tier 7. So that's actually quite high tier regen. Okay, it's got resistance, body armor. See if there's resistances here. Elemental resistance, 8. So this is 8 tiers of resistance. So it's tier 6. So there's only 2 more tiers. But it's not easy to remember because you can't think, all right, there's 8 tiers, so tier 6 is pretty decent because there is life there that has 12 tiers. So, you know, the body armor, there's 13 tiers of life. So, okay, that's like tier 2, but it's tier 12. Like, man, I think what they need to do to the UI system is they need to say tier 6 out of 8, tier 12 out of tier 13. That would make sense, right? Yeah, so that's not bad. So basically, it seems like on all pieces of gear, you know, there's a range of, let's say, 8 to 13, right? So anything above 5 is probably slightly above average. However, on certain things, such as on amulets, there's 4, and on bows, there's 3, right? But there's 13 mana tiers on jewelry. But yeah, if you're seeing things that are above tier 5, that's normally decent. Unless it's something that is like life or energy shield, because they are pretty. There's a lot of tiers on there. But yeah, it's not immediately recognizable. But based off that theory, tier 5 movement speed, you can see there, is pretty decent. Tier 9 life, that's way above 5, so that's pretty decent. Tier 6 resistance, that's pretty decent. But tier 3 rarity isn't over 5, so you're like, it's not bad, but it's not great. So yeah, it's just a weird system to get used to. Like, it is a better system because, well, it just is a better system. It's just not, it needs to be displayed tier 1 out of 12, tier 3 out of 9, etc.